So introduction to sex education in the schools. So like all those contents, and in terms of audio visuals, like audio videos, both of these are being provided, as well as printed material is being provided. So this is all what awareness programs has been done by the government as well as by non-government organizations, that is NGOs. Complete information about the reproductive organs, adolescence, and the issues related to it, the safety and hygiene of sexual practices, the sexually transmitted diseases, birth control methods, care of the mother and newborn child. All of these things, they are also being discussed at school level, as well as these sexual practices and all of them, they are not discussed at school level, but they are discussed at more at the primary health center areas, where the parents, they go and they talk about it and so on with the doctor.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, I had a question like the sexually transmitted diseases. So, how are they related to gay sex?
How are they related to
So, like gay sex.
gay sex? uh,
Yes, sir.
we will talk about it sometime later. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Maybe at the end of the class, or whenever it comes. At the end of the class is better. Okay, so there are these various things which are done as an awareness program, and again this goes in sync with that social goal which government is trying to achieve. So that was a very general information. Again, why it is important to know about reproductive health. uh, Probably you can go over this slide on your own. It just says about creating awareness of the sexually transmitted diseases. This means, like, if at all any disease is going to happen through reproductive processes, including sexual intercourse, or during the birth of the baby, or any other type of infection that goes with the reproductive organs, that is how we need to make ourselves more aware of the reproductive health. Then, of course, the accurate information about sexual life, because being in India, we have so many taboos and so many notions about sex in general. So that way, having accurate information about all these processes, including reproduction, contraception, and so on, it is important to have that reproductive health. uh, then help in maintaining safe sexual as well as the reproductive health. Most of the adults in India, they lack from the basics of this information. Like, now we consider ourselves privileged or educated in that aspect, but still the most of the India is still struggling with these basic things. With this awareness, an individual can protect themselves from sexually transmitted infection and disease. So if we know about most of the basic processes related to reproduction and the sexual activities, we can protect ourselves from these different diseases or infection. And of course, it like when the some like when a female is pregnant, then if they have a complete education about this all these processes, they can take care of their baby as well as themselves in a better way, to have proper medicine to maintain good health and hygiene and so on. So these are the general points where the it highlights the importance of the reproductive health and why we should study it as well. I hope I'm kind of rushing through this, but these things are clear to you. If not, please feel free to stop and ask questions at all. Okay, so now coming to the main points, there are certain problems. Again, these are related to India and also to some extent worldwide population. So problems related to reproductive health. First one being taboos, like most important being the taboos, whether it's a religious thing or a traditional thing or a societal thing. These different setups, they do not permit the knowledge transfer about the family planning or about the reproductive processes within Indian communities. And like you might have noticed around, talking about sex is not so common. Talking about, I don't mean to say people should discuss it openly, but yeah, there is still kind of taboo, and that is why they are not discussing about any of these things or processes. So that is why it becomes more and more important to make ourselves more aware of the reproductive health. Early marriage still one of the issue in the rural part of India, where the boys as well as girls, they are getting married early. So then obviously they get children early, and then there are cases of premature baby or undernourished babies and so on. Or then this poverty kind of issue they add to this early marriage issue. So there are quite a few problems, and then they are ultimately affecting the reproductive health of those individuals. Kid parents, again, because of the early marriage, like the kid parent, as in the child is still not even reached the adulthood, like complete adulthood, but still they have become parent. There are so many cases in the rural part of India, like at least I know quite a few from the like especially what we call Adivasi areas, or the tribal areas. They have marriage of the children at 14 or 15 years of age. Then after that, the within 1 or 2 year, the girl would, or the both the parents, they would already have had a baby. So they have not even reached 18, and they are having the baby. So that is still one of the major issue.
So,
Yes,
but like we humans, we reach puberty at teenage, right? So that's like 12, 13.
correct.
And so from from that point onwards, we kind of become like we are able to reproduce them,
Yeah,
and the hormones are released for
correct,
reproduction.
correct.
So after that people have to wait for like 10 years to actually get married and reproduce. Isn't that a disadvantage? I mean,
Mm,
uh,
it
I
is
mean,
not a disadvantage as such. So, like the reason I will tell you why we cannot have it, or we should not have it early. See, you are still in that adulthood phase, right? You have not, rather, the people have not completely grown mentally to take care of one more person, and that is one of the major reason as well,
No,
right?
but they reach biological adulthood, right?
See, physically you are all ready to have a child, but just being physically ready or having those reproductive structures in place, ready to receive a baby, does not mean you can produce a child anytime. Like especially in the early.
so the thing you say about being mentally ready, I think that's very much related only to a modern society. I mean, when people were like monkeys, even if they like whenever they reproduced, it wouldn't matter, right? So the Adivasis that you talked about, they don't live in such a complicated society, right?
Correct.
So I think for them it's okay to reproduce like as soon as they
Yeah,
reach.
there would not have been more problem if these are not then premature baby, or if the woman is taking care during the pregnancy period, and even after the pregnancy period. So there are so many issues related to the like not as such having a baby, but around that having a baby, there are so many issues. They are not being taken care of, and that is why it becomes a problem. If there has been no problem, this is perfectly fine. But still, the that is when the legal age of marriage has been done, considering all these fact, that is 18 years and 21 years. There are certain scientific reasons that you like now you are completely ready to take care of the babies, even though you have reached puberty at, let's say, 5 6 years before this legal age of marriage. Still there is certain gap which is required, because then you have to come out of that adulthood, settle yourself, make yourself more comfortable to have a baby. It's not just like, okay, sexual activity is done and then let's have a baby, right? That cannot happen, and that should not happen. Usually in most of the cases, even in the tribal areas, those people, they are not aware of contraception. right? So assume those couple, they are having sexual intercourse in the like immediately after marriage, and then having a child in the second, starting with the second month itself, right? So those kind of issues, they arise uh, as and when these they become problem later. Then the mother wouldn't even know how to take care of that pregnant baby which is growing inside the body of that person. So there it comes the problem. Otherwise, having babies is not a problem, but still there is a legal age for a certain reason, because of the like I said, mental age and the preparation of the body, and also it's not only those mental and preparation of the body, but also the what we call the family condition. It has to be conducive to let grow of that baby. The poverty issues, they have to be conducive so that the child is getting sufficient nutrition during its childhood. So all these issues, they create lot of issues, or lot of problems in the later phase. So to avoid that, it's best not to have the child early as in before 18 for sure.
Oh, sir,
Hmm.
like how come so many children are being born? I mean, isn't like in the whole year only 12 days you can get pregnant, right?
Imagine the population, no, Pratham?
So, but still,
What still? Like you multiply those 12 into the number of population, those many babies you can have.
so but like is you, I mean, if on one day you have a baby, for the whole year you won't have one, right? I mean, and like most people don't even know that, on this day you'll have a baby and this day you won't. So, like,
That is why reproductive health we are talking about. People should know that these are the times. Probably they should not have sexual intercourse if they don't want to have a baby. Or if they want to have a baby, they should have sexual intercourse during those days. That is what we are going to talk about.
yeah, okay,
Okay, so
yeah.
some other problems is the like the career of the girls usually when they get married. Again, some of the issue may not, you may not feel that they are prevalent anymore, but they still exist quite a lot in the society, not around us but outside us. Like I have seen all these issues because last few schools that I have taught, these issues, they are very common. The girl would run away at the age of 14 or 15, even without finishing her 10th standard, get married and settle down and have a baby. Or next year they would come to school with a baby, right? So these things, they are still very common. And this I'm talking of not any rural area, I'm talking about Pune itself, like the slum community from the Pune itself, which is like very, very dangerous otherwise. So these then the like early marriages may not allow the some of the girls to pursue their studies or jobs, and then they have to, of course, after having a baby or so, then they may not be uh, like ready to go back to that phase of studies or job at times again. So that becomes an issue. A teenage mother is not physically fit. This is one of the reason. Like you may have reached the level of puberty, but your uterus may not have been prepared completely as of now to receive the completely grown baby. It has prepared to receive the ovule, does not mean it has been ready to receive a baby as well, right? Like completely growing fetus till then. Also, due to the menstruation, there are so many, what you say, anemia kind of issue, that is less of blood or less of RBCs. That is very commonly available phenomena in the girls, and that is mainly because of the blood loss that happens during the menstruation. Now, when you are anemic and at the same time you are pregnant, then the amount of blood that is providing nourishment to the fetus is also not sufficient. So ultimately, what you end up having is a malnourished baby. So these are just the common problems. Then deformities in the children who are married early. This is quite common. Again, this goes back to the same fact that the nutrition in the teenage adults, like those who are within 18, but they are still in their teenagers, if they have children, quite a lot of times there are deformities, and again the reason goes back to the developmental issues that occurs during the gestational period. Then the maternal mortality rate, that is the rate at which the birth giving mother, they are dying, and the infant mortality rate, the rate at which these children are dying immediately after the birth or even during before the pregnancy is about to complete, that is quite high. And this goes back to the fact of that the undernourishment of the mother and not taking care of the baby, like miss again, for example, if this is a tribal area, those women, they still go back to work instead of taking rest. Now again, the here the issue is not going to work but taking care of the baby even at work, that is not being done. So obviously the mortality rate in both of these cases, they are quite high. The rates of abortion because of this is again high. Personal hygiene, not being aware of or having no knowledge of personal and reproductive hygiene is most common even in the educated community, not only a rural part of India issue, but it's very very common issue across the country and even throughout the world also. Health of ladies, poor diet, lack of care causing ladies to be weak or anemic, again the same thing, loss of blood, so less RBCs, and so they are called anemic. So because of these different issues, again the health may not be conducive to receive a baby, and that will lead to certain problems. Population growth, now lack of awareness has led to the lot of population explosion, and that is one of the reason of not being aware of the reproductive health. Of course, we don't know what contraception is, then obviously the people will just keep on reproducing the babies, or they will undergo abortion like processes, and that will ultimately kind of deteriorate the health of that particular individual. So there are several such issues like this which are related to reproductive health. Any questions here?
So
Yes.
it's about abortion. So the embryo after 6 weeks develops into a fetus, right?
Yeah.
So that means before 6 weeks abortion is allowed.
No, even up to, I guess, abortion is feasible up to 5th month or 6th month. Feasible in the sense the complexity increases in the later phases. Obviously, surely after 6 months it is impossible. Impossible as in it is possible, but then you don't want to take a chance that there will be lot of blood loss and then the mother might die in the process of abortion. So there are several complications, but like in the earlier phases of pregnancy, it is very much possible. So earlier the better.
Okay.
Okay, so then what are the strategies which are being done to like avoid all these issues? So they are being mentioned here. Again, we need not go into details of which. I hope you are aware of family planning, right? As a terminology. Yes, no?
Sir, I know there is something called family planning, but I don't know what they do in that.
Okay, so family planning is nothing but like you plan that you will have a child, whether girl or boy, that doesn't matter, at this particular age, and you will have only one child or two child maximum, and not three, four, five, and more, right? That is not family plan. It's just having a child, one or two, and when do you want to have it, and how much gap you want to have it. That is what all is the family plan.
So why not 3, 4, 5? I mean,
Well, population, that's the major issue. Of course, you can have Pratham if you want, you can have as many as you want.
so it's like it's family planning, not social planning, right? So
Yeah, so family planning doesn't mean you can have as many children as like as you want wish to be, right? Or as many as you want it. It's just like one or two maximum. Okay, so then the other strategies is increasing more awareness about the reproduction, sex education, most importantly, the birth control devices, that means the contraception techniques, which we will see later much in detail, the care of the mother and the child, like during pregnancy and even after pregnancy, what are the sexually transmitted diseases, how they occur, what has to be done in those cases. So all those things will help in understanding the reproductive health. Population explosion, how to avoid this, because this will give strain on lot many resources, including food, clothing, or natural resources, housing, and so on. So that ultimately creates a burden. So how to avoid that population explosion? uh, Pregnancy, like majorly unwanted pregnancy or premarital sexual intercourse, which is very common these days amongst the teenagers, without contraceptive, that too, like having probably sexual intercourse with mutual consent is still one thing, which may or may not be validated because that's totally between those couples, but without contraceptive is something high chance of them transmitting the sexually transmitted diseases. So all those issues, being aware will help in maintaining the reproductive health. Then information about reproduction related problems, like for example, a lady is pregnant, or even if she has PCOD type of disorder, like polycystic ovary diseases, PCOD in short it is called, which we will see again later. So these kind of problems we should be aware, and we should go and consult a physician or a doctor about these things. So at least that much awareness has to be there. Most of the people, they avoid going to doctor because it is related to reproduction, and that is still kind of common. Ban on fetal sex determination, like the child sex determination is banned in India since I guess quite few years now. Earlier, otherwise earlier the sonography techniques used to detect the what is the gender of the child, and if it is a female child, it used to be killed or aborted in terms of pregnancy, and that was very common practice earlier. Nowadays, at least it has stopped to almost 95%, I would say, because still there is at many places people do it uh, to like get to know these things, like what is the gender of their child. People still do it, and even the doctors, they assist people in doing this, which ideally they should not. But again, this is not a generalized fact, it's only few of the people those who do it. Knowledge of the social evils. Now, social evils, this is specifically talking about the sex abuse, whether it's a girl or a boy child during the early childhood or even in the teenage life. Sexual abuse is still one of the most common issue uh, around the world, not only in India, but around the world. And people do not prefer to talk about the sexual abuse because they still think it's a taboo. So, for example, like an ex-child has undergone a like sex abuse by some individual around him or her, then that child may not be able to speak to others about it, because then he is so scared through that act of sexual abuse by others that he or she may not speak about it, and that stays with the life. So these are kind of social evils. Again, rape like situations, these are like totally criminal situations. So these are the social evils, and how to make ourselves more aware about these things, that is also going to help in building a better reproductive health. Marriageable age, like 21 for boys, 18 for girls. So I guess yeah, uh, this you are already aware of, that this is the legal marriageable age. Beyond like below this, if you get married, you are liable for punishment, not that someone has to report it. Otherwise, you are free to roam around. So research, the encouraging research on reproduction related area, this has been quite promising these days, because knowing all the facts about reproduction, and of course the pregnancy related issue or other processes related to reproduction has been very well studied by now, and so it has been helping very well to maintain the reproductive health. So these are the various strategies which are being in place to take care of the reproductive health. Again, any quick questions here? Okay, so then we'll move on to what government has specifically been trying, because there are questions being asked, right? A short note on government's effort to in the field of reproductive health. So then again the same thing, like that is maternity and child health, MCH it is short form, and the family planning that has been enforced through various primary healthcare centers and so on, and also through the school sex education thing, uh, like for the community, not for the children, but for the community of that particular school. Family planning program, again this is done at the individual level in consultation with the doctor, and government is trying to uh, like that's how they advertise at many places, on the television, in the newspaper, in the hospitals and so on. They advertise about all these things. Most importantly, universal immunization program. So WHO had started this program long back, and India started it in 1985, and it includes various vaccines being given immediately after the birth of the child. If it is in one dose, then it is given after a month or so, or depending on what vaccine it is, they are given at time after the birth of the child. So that is the maintaining that immunity of the child for the various diseases which were very very prevalent in the earlier times. Like for example, smallpox, now it's completely eradicated, or even polio for that matter is completely eradicated. So those were the kind of vaccines or immunization programs are being taken care by the government, and that is most of these are done free of cost at the government center. If you go to private hospital, of course they charge it, but otherwise they are done as a government effort in those their hospitals. And generally primary health centers, that is PHCs, they provide the basic health care to mother as well as to the babies, which are like either in the gestation period or after the birth of the child. In both of these situations, these primary health centers, they help the uh, people to take care of their babies and as well as the female. Now I hope these three, 4 points were clear. Inequality of the sex, again, it was very, very prevalent issue, and also it is still exists nowadays, and it has more like social reason. Like earlier, people used to believe that mother is responsible for the child sex, because if a mother is giving birth to a baby, like a baby girl, and not the baby boy, then the female was either beaten up or thrown out of house and so on. There were so many issues, at least in the earlier times. Now also it exists, but relatively to less extent, because the child sex, like people are more aware about that father is responsible for the child sex and not the mother. Mother is only giving birth to the baby, but ultimately mother is not responsible for that uh, gender of the child. So that way, like, and whenever there had been so many girl infant or girl fetus, they have been killed in the pregnancy stages itself, and that had led to the inequality of the sex. And mother's role in family, again this is like I said, this is more of a taboo like role. Usually most of the people, being in a patriarchal society, people look at woman either as a means of usage, or just working in the house and so on, and not allowing her to do anything, or just producing babies and so on. So this is still a kind of common reason for inequality of the sex in some
Uh,
parts of India.
sir,
Yeah.
about the mother's role in the family. Sir, I read in the book like called *Sapiens* by Yuval Noah Harari. So it said that our bodies, like physical, hormonal, and everything, they're still adapted to the savannas, like hunting as hunter gatherers. And it said that like during those times, since females were pregnant, mostly the males used to, like, the females kind of, they kind of grouped together wherever they were, like the settlement was there, like the temporary settlement, and the males used to go out hunting because the females had to take care of the babies.
Hmm.
So, and like this kind of thing, it happened for like millions of years, so it's like an instinct now. So that's why he said that this is there. So I mean, so many, like millions of years of like instinct, you can't just kind of throw out in a few years, right? So
Correct. That is a fact, right?
it's not inequality, that's just how this evolution then.
No, but like earlier time, that was like maybe, see, the one way, if you look at it, we know it a bit that some of the activities, especially in Indian communities, we say a girl cannot do it and a boy can do it, or a mother cannot do it and father can do it, and so on. So there are so many such things still exist around us, right? I might have done something in my past saying that, oh, you are a girl and you cannot do it, right? So that way we have that patriarchal mindset, and that's what leads to this inequality at the end. It's
Uh,
not,
so
it,
yeah, about that,
uh,
sir, he talked about patriarchal society also. So he said that like all the ancient and the modern civilizations and the roots that have been studied, so all of them, they kind of evolved, like at least in the earlier times, like thousands of civilizations evolved in all over the world, completely isolated from each other. But one thing they all had in common was that they were patriarchal.
see,
Like
now again, like
so
if,
he tried to, sir, like he tried to think of different reasons. He stated different reasons, and he says, but all of them, like they have been argued upon by scholars, and none of them are very convincing. But because of this huge number of statistics, there must be some underlying reasons why, like, all like the cultures are patriarchal. So he said there is a reason, because it can't be a like coincidence.
why it can't be a coincidence? It is, I feel it is like it is developed and it is maintained deliberately later for the benefit of certain sect or certain part of
Uh,
the community, which I would make community.
Yes, sir. So the modern world is a result of that. But initially, when the cultures were formed, they were formed in a way that they were patriarchal, and like all of them. So it's not like a coin you toss 50-50. It's like all of them, like thousands of them, all of them were patriarchal. And he says there's no probability this has happened by chance. There is a reason. Either like because the women stayed at home and they were dependent on men because they hunted, and like because of, like he gave some reasons, but he said there is a underlying reason beneath that.
That is totally fine, but carrying the same things from those ancient age times even now, that is the biggest mistake, right? Nowadays, like if you look at certain like multinational companies, they have started giving paternity leave as well to the males, right? The reason being, if they are going to take care of the baby, I don't know how many of them actually go and take care of the baby like how a mother does, but like obviously there are few examples, but there are very handful of them. But overall, if you still look, it's mother only who takes care of the baby, right? And we still live in that mindset that father has to go and earn money. Like again, I'm not saying about like our parents or our like nearby community, but many of the individuals within Indian community, they are still of this mindset. Like I can tell you few examples from the communities that I worked with last few years. I had, like, when the husband is dead, or when the like let's say husband has run away with another woman, those women whose children were studying in my school, they, when after we tell them, why don't you work, they used to say we cannot work because हमारे community में allowed नहीं है, या तो you know, like we cannot work, we are women and who will give us job. Like they also have that mindset, and fathers were on different level altogether. So I have seen all these examples live, and they still exist quite a lot in most of the communities even now.
Yes, sir. I mean that itself I'm talking about. So I'm like the fact that like there's a kind of there's a thing that fathers go out and work and mothers stay at home taking care of the baby. I'm saying that isn't that instinct like honed in like from millions of years of evolution, because that's what hunter gatherers did.
Now let's imagine the other situation. Let's say a man would have stayed back at home in the earlier times, and woman would have gone and hunted it, right?
Yes.
Obviously she is equally capable, right? And probably she would have evolved in a much better way than what it is now in terms of strength. Like we usually consider male as stronger than female, and that is in a way true also, because the muscle development is different in female and male, right? And that goes back to the fact of hormones, right? That is scientific, we can't change that fact. But that does not mean training a woman body to strength will not happen. That can happen as well. So it is like a mindset more than the trend which has been carried forward. That is what I am trying to say here.
So like as in mindset you mean like something that's already there in our body or something that we develop? Because I'm saying that it's something that's already there, like an instinct. Be-
That is what I am trying to say. It is not there. We are inculcating in our mind that it is there.
So, like, there was another study that he mentioned about. He said that, uh, so there's a theory that when people actually started domesticating animals, so like sheep was there before the wild sheep, they were very aggressive. So when they started like domesticating them, they did that. The sheep that weren't that aggressive, they kept, and the sheep that were very aggressive, they kind of butchered for food. So the sheep that were there that were not aggressive, they gave birth, and slowly, the farm animals they kind of became not aggressive. So it's like artificial picking of genes. They didn't know about genes, but they did that because in pens and all, the sheep that were aggressive, they kind of always kept breaking through the fence. He said the same thing. There's a good chance that the same thing happened in the early like hunter gatherers. So the women that kind of were very valiant and all that went out hunting, they weren't the people who passed on the next generation, because the women who gave birth actually were in their homes, like taking care of the babies. And so he said that, and then he said that same thing passed, and he says modern studies have shown that men are men have this aggressive feature, like in the majority men are more aggressive while women are more empathetic and kind of calm and not aggressive. So this is like modern studies.
See, all these studies are true. We cannot deny that they are not true. But being at this age and still saying the same thing, that is what is the problem. It might have been there earlier for some reason. What is the reason now also to have it?
Yes, sir. So that's what the fact is. Like what I'm think like what I think is that uh, the things that are there are intellectual, like equality and all. They are intellectual, and we recognize them that okay, this should be there, but in our instincts, it's different. So it's like your fight, like brain versus hormones kind of thing.
Instinct are nothing but your the way you process things. The moment you change the process, your instinct changes. So you cannot say that at all.
but it's kind of evolved through so many years, right? I mean, you can't just change it like that.
It is not genetic. That is what I am trying to say. It is not evolved. It is carried forward in mindset.
So, but if it's not genetic, so how can like so many men have like be naturally more aggressive while women are naturally more calm?
That is the hormonal effect.
Yes, and hormonal, like yeah, and that's more and that's genetic, right?
But that has nothing to do with male being dominant and female being not dominant. Female can equally be dominant, they just choose not to be because of their hormonal action.
No, sir. Like it said that males are like they are like from within more like aggressive.
It's true, I'm not saying that. But why do you have to show your dominance to a woman? Why do you have to show? I understand you are aggressive, I understand you are dominant, right? But then why do you have to show your dominance? You are as in not your, but yeah, in this case, like why do you have to a male show his dominance to someone?
Yeah, and that what I'm saying is instinct because that has been happening for so many millions of years, and now you can't certainly stop it, right?
Does not mean if it was happening in the earlier time, does not mean it should happen now also. Exactly my point, because that is a mindset. Physically, genetically, mentally, you might be dominating. Doesn't matter. You don't have to show it all the time.
So like basically like yeah, I'll end this. What I'm saying is like in like I mean we have to go on with the syllabus. It's
Uh,
like a lion who's eating meat, like or a hyena who's eating meat suddenly can't switch to plants, right?
but again,
But I think the situation also demands maybe for a woman it was never demanded, so she couldn't show her furiousness or whatever was, that was why, you say men are more furious and more stronger in some ways. But then I think when you're talking about the olden ages, when tribes, when you said the women are settled in homes, taking care of babies. I think you're looking at only a particular phase where she's pregnant and taking care of babies. But then you maybe the before stage where she grew up being strong and you know. It's different, but the circumstances are different, which show up the personality finally.
But Pranavi, so yeah, so you're saying that before, like, not during the 9 months, like before and after she's pregnant, she can still hunt, but see the
Yeah.
physical ability also, like, uh, because in the hunter-gatherer ages, of course, men were more physically fit because of some hormones, and women were not. So don't you think that the male that goes out hunting has a higher chance to survive than a female?
Uh,
see, that might be true, Pratham, at that time.
yeah.
The point is not that here. The point is those who are capable of doing things does not mean others were incapable of doing those
Exactly.
things. That is my
Who is
point.
also capable of giving birth.
Yeah.
So a man is not capable. You can't say a man is, less stronger than a woman in that way. Right?
Males are being dominant does not mean females are not dominant.
So it does. So males are like the study also said that like females are naturally
I
more
can,
submissive.
I can simply show you another studies which are done in contrary to what you are saying. And I can prove it to you as well.
I'm a little
I
confused
think the
now.
dominance you're talking about is about the mental thinking of the people, which has been coming from long years. But it's not about the genetic and the physical appearance of man and a woman.
And most importantly, my point is like we are at such a age, like let's understand that patriarchal society actually suppressed a woman quite a lot through certain ages, right? And that's why those burqa tradition and that sati pratha and all of those, they were so prevalent in the earlier times, which are non-existent now. But imagine both of the male and female would have been equal since start. then where would you put women now? Because they were suppressed in the earlier times again. Now, thankfully, they are not. But if they were not suppressed in the earlier times, I am sure they would have been probably actually equal in every sense, or they would have been even ahead of us. And I can even tell you some common things which a female can do and a male cannot do, which is multitasking. Females are far better at multitasking. We just look at our moms and we will realize this.
And sir, I think
And that
it's
is a very
easier to
general
relate-
fact.
Yeah, sorry.
It need not be even proven scientifically. It's a very general fact. We just observe our moms at home, and you will find that multitasking habit of hers. And whether it's a housewife, working woman, or whatsoever, she will still be a like a multitasker, which a male has still been struggling, irrespective of even this much of patriarchy. And that is kind of fact.
So this is not about like who's better or who's not. This is about cause and effect. So, uh, like, and about the patriarchal society that you said that uh, if that had not been the case, if it had been some other case, yeah. Uh, I'm saying that it's not just by chance that all the civilizations around the world suddenly became patriarchal. I mean, that's also what the book said. He said there's an underlying reason about human evolution that prefers patriarchy that we don't understand yet. Otherwise, yeah.
I didn't get the point.
So the point is that like the way that the humans have evolved and what their environments were when they evolved as hunter-gatherers, there was a factor that promoted a patriarchal society. That's why all the civilizations, even though they had no contact with each other, suddenly became patriarchal. I mean, they were not one to like before.
I don't know why you are not trying to understand that it is man-made and not natural.
Yes, sir. So I'm saying that it is something in the environment that forced evolution.
It's not in the environment, it is man-made. That is what I am trying to say. It is not like a natural phenomenon. It is done by the individual. So it is artificial, it is man-made.
Yes, sir. If it was man-made,
Not
if it was man-made, there were equal chances of there being a matriarchal or a patriarchal society.
that is why I am saying if you
But that is not there. But that is not there. But
that's why if you go back to time and change that, the scenario that you see now, you will see it very differently, because it has been done. Even whatever your hunter gathering times that you are talking of, if you had allowed females to go out and you were taking care of the baby sitting at the home being a male, then you would have seen the scenario drastically different. Then we would have called it a matriarchal society today.
no, but that is not possible.
Just
I
like
mean,
that.
Why
that's
is it not possible?
because that's the environment now. So you're saying that it's something that humans thought of themselves, like it was in their minds. I'm saying it was in the environment, like consequences of their evolution. And women staying at home because of childbirth is a consequence of evolution.
But
So,
it's
like,
only
you
for,
can't change that.
let's say, whatever number, let's say for 9 months and another year, woman is sitting at home. She is free for rest of her life.
So what about the like for the rest of our life? What about the fact that males have more testosterone? They have like stronger muscles. They can run faster.
That is again a kind of adaptation. It is not natural. It has come to the males in a more aggressive form in the later years. Earlier, it wasn't there.
No. So earlier it was very much there because the like the very act of giving birth requires the body to have some structural changes. Like so, the pelvic girdle is like bigger. There's a layer of fat. The muscles have to be thinner. Otherwise, you can't adjust so much into one body.
That is true. But
So,
that is
like from the moment gender was decided, the structure was decided, and that's evolution, right?
correct. But that does not prove it is the adaptability and compatibility between two genders. It does not prove that this is dominant and this is not. That is the adaptability and compatibility. It does not mean male is stronger just because it has more testosterone and more aggressive. That is the fact. You might show, like, you again, I am saying you, please don't mind it, but like a male might show like a more dominance because he has been like in an aggressive form all the time, but that does not mean it has to be like that. It is not natural. It is very like made. Like if I have to show my aggression, I can always show, right? But if I decide to choose being calm, I can be calm. It's equal. That is what I'm trying to say.
No,
Like,
no, so like, yeah,
very man-made thing later.
no, of course you can choose to be calm, but if you assume that men and females, like males and females, they have kind of a limit to how calm they can be. More males will turn out to be aggressive because of like what we previously discussed.
True. Because I will say they don't have ability to be calm.
No, so that's because of evolution.
No, I want to say it this way, but
I mean, fine.
But deciding if being calm and being strong is different, it is man-made, right? Like our thinking said that women being at home is weaker because the man is going outside and working. That is strong. It is man-made, basically.
No, no.
Pratham, my point is,
I'll answer a question. So 1 second. Being strong and being aggressive are two fundamentally different things. One is mental, one is physical. So physically, though, men are stronger, right? And about mental, it's why I'm saying it's not a man-made thing is because how this is how evolution has been. So, well, you get what I'm saying now. Like I said about the sheep, how you selectively choose the genes that you want. That's how it was done in the early, hunter-gatherer time. So naturally, because of those genes that you chose, that's how the situation has turned out.
Obviously, you're talking about choosing sheep, right? So when this evolution was happening, men naturally chose to suppress women and chose for them to be dominant and not do anything about it.
They weren't intellectuals like us. They didn't choose like that. They chose it like this. So this is how they chose the thing. So let's say that one woman is sitting at home and she's submissive. She doesn't do anything. Yeah, and another woman is fighting. And when people fight like out there, they have a high chance of dying, especially in those times because there it said humans were exactly in the middle of the food chain. So many creatures could kill them. So of course, you wouldn't impregnate a woman who was out there hunting, but you would impregnate a woman who was there sitting at home. Like it's only logical.
Why would she sit at home?
We're talking about availability.
No. It's like, okay, not at home. A woman who was submissive and would stay at home.
Why would she be submissive?
Why wouldn't a woman who is going
Because
for
she wouldn't
hunting
hunt.
choose a man who is sitting at home? Why wouldn't a woman who is hunting choose a man who is sitting at home in that way?
Did you just say a man would prefer a woman sitting at home and not the one who is outside?
Exactly.
No, he's saying that there are more of these people because the people going outside are dying. So availability wise, there are more of these than those.
Okay, but in earlier times, like if I have to mention that fact, like
I'm not talking about preference. I'm talking about probability, sir. It's like, don't take my word for it. Like, I'm not saying that. The hunter-gatherers said that.
no, but even in that case, earlier the women were looked at those who are much stronger. They will have the stronger babies. That was the fact. So they would not prefer a woman who is sitting at home, but they would prefer a woman who is more aggressive otherwise.
No. So that's actually the opposite. So it was the woman. Like, okay, I'll just bring the book. I mean, next time. I mean, I have to find it right now in the library. I'll read it out.
Okay,
Then we can
I
talk.
guess we all have classes after lunch, and we will have only less time for lunch. So let's stop here. We can continue this discussion. So one thing before we break, tomorrow we are having a class, right? And you are writing exams like whenever you want. Exam as in not an exam as such, but like a worksheet. And those who want to get it corrected, then they write as a test. And that's what we have decided, right? Everyone?
So is it a
Yes, sir.
worksheet or a test? Finally,
Sorry?
is it a worksheet or a test? Finally,
So that you decide. I'm going to give it out as a test paper.
so we will have class then.
So in that case, we will have the class. But if majority here says we will write as an exam at 11:30, then we may not have class. So let's decide quickly. Mansi,
I think worksheet is fine.
fine. Pranavi. Okay, we can't hear Pranavi for a moment.
So are we having class?
Yeah, so we will have a class, and I will give you that worksheet in the morning itself, or maybe just before the class.
So,
So
but you'll check it now.
yeah, I will check it. I will check it. Okay, so let's stop here, people, and then I will see you tomorrow at 11:30. Yeah, bye bye. Have a good day.
Bye, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Bye,
you.
sir.